All right, guys, back again, and let's talk about X-Men's newest movie, New Mutants, which was a movie that has been delayed 4 times. Apparently, IMDb said it was five because it was going to be again delayed September 4th, but I've already seen it. It's already been in theaters. And I'm finally thankful that I'm back in the theaters because I have been going to the movies for a long time and waiting like 4 or 5 months. I know it's a petty thing to say, but like I miss that so much. I miss going out and I'm really wanted to go out to the movies. It's not the same as seeing it at home. It's not the same without an audience. It's not the same without the big screen. And I was just so excited to go back to the theaters. And again, this is the first movie I've seen since I have gotten back, like since the theaters have come back. And the last one I saw was the Way Back, that Ben Affleck basketball movie, which was good. I liked it, but it's been a while, unfortunately. And like I said, I saw that in like March, so I'm just glad that the theaters are back, no matter what movie it was. And the first one I got to see was this one, The New Mutants, which again has been delayed like 4 times, and it just really just got beaten down so many times. Every time it got delayed, it was either because they wanted the movie to make the movie better, or Disney's acquisition of Fox, or this bullshit going on in the world right now. So it just got delayed so many times, and they had to put it in the theater. I guess do with a clause. They had a clause that they had to release it in theaters, and it's interesting that this is the first one that I saw going back, because I'd say overall this movie is getting so much shit. Like it's getting all this negative reception, saying it's the worst X-Men movie. And honestly, I think people like you can have your own opinions, but this to me is definitely not the worst X-Men movie. I can definitely point out ones that are worse, especially Origins Wolverine. That's my least favorite. Even X-Men: The Last Stand or Dark Phoenix, um, and I could put those above, like under this movie. I don't think this is the worst one. I think that this movie has problems, but it's problems that are weird because of what's going on. Like they tried to fix stuff, but then they just kept getting screwed over so many times. And I feel bad for the director, Josh Boone, who like kept saying it's going to theaters. We're gonna get it to theaters even whenever this is going on, and you've got to make that point and make the theaters open again. And I'm not saying that it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm saying that I'm scared that they're going to go away because of what Disney is doing with Mulan being on Disney Plus Premium for $30, or movies like The Smurfs coming out in the summer that was on VOD. And it's unfortunate because I again like to see movies in the theater. So I hope that they keep going, and I'm just more selfish on that fact because I don't want to say on camera how I personally feel about all this shit going on and all this political crap. All this stuff is just ridiculous, and it's just making the world scared, making the world annoyed. It's a very annoying thing we're going with right now. So I'm just glad that I found some happiness in my hobby going back to the theater. And like I said, this one just has been delayed so many times with those problems, and it's got problems in which it's like a lot of editing problems where like there's a lot of dialogue where like these characters will say something, but then their mouth will just go like this, like off the camera. Like they'll not say the words that they're saying, and like it'll just ad lib them in or add them in. So it's weird on that fact that the movie does that, but I can see, I guess they just kept having problems like trying to edit it and put it out. So for a movie that's been delayed 4 times, and a movie that has so far gotten negative critical reception just online, and critically it's not doing good either, I thought that this movie really wasn't that bad. I actually enjoyed this one. Like I said, it has issues with like the editing, with the dialogue, like ad libbed dialogue or added dialogue into it with like characters not saying what they're clearly saying, stuff like that. And the movie does have moments where it feels like scene after scene with like camera footage of like footage of like the outside of the building. Like it's one of those movies. But I thought that the movie did a good job for a movie and a franchise. I like that this one is definitely now a one-off. I know they're not going to probably do any more of these because this universe, I'm assuming, is dead because they're going to make the MCU X-Men universe. But this Fox universe of X-Men movies, I thought this was a fine one to end on, and I thought that it did a good job of being a movie that in a franchise has characters that are new but likable, and I like that the movie is different than the other X-Men movies in a way. The first two acts are very good in that fact of being a secluded institution. Like, I think that's a cool idea. I think that's a cool idea with mutants having that power and having that fear of that power. But it's also a movie that's weird with like its tone because it's trying to be a horror movie, but then it tries to be YA kind of movie, and it suffers in that fact. So I'm not saying the movie's perfect, but I did enjoy a lot of it. I thought that it was solid. I thought that the characters were fun. I thought that the mood was good. I liked, even though the mood is kind of tonally weird, but I still liked the movie. I still thought the movie gave enough entertainment, enough likable characters, enough of intrigue. Like, I thought that it did an interesting job of that. Not a great job, but a good job. And I saw this with a friend, and we were dreading it. And then, like, at the end, we were both like, "Oh yeah, this isn't that bad. Like, this definitely wasn't that bad of a movie. It was pretty solid. Like, it was not a movie that's great, but it's not a movie that's bad either. It doesn't deserve that reputation it's getting, saying it's the worst X-Men movie for me personally. Because, like I said, I dislike. There's three I dislike more than this, and it might fall down to the fourth, I guess, if you rank him. But like the fourth worst, I guess. But still, that doesn't mean much. Like, I still like this franchise a lot, so it's hard to choose between them, honestly. And this one, like I said, points for being an individual kind of movie in the franchise with like new characters that nobody really knows about, not any big actors, except for if they were in TV shows. And this was filmed in 2017, so you have, I forgot what her name is, Arya Stark in Game of Thrones, Maisie Williams, and then Anya Taylor-Joy started to be in some movies, and she's great now. She's in a lot of them now. Like, she was in Split, I guess, before this, because this was filmed in 2017, but Split was released in 2016, so I guess she had already had some movies already on her belt. And I think she's awesome. I love her in movies, but it's cool to see her in this. And then the guy, I forgot what his name is in Stranger Things, but Stranger Things guy is in here as well. And that's it. You got 5 characters who are the mutants, the New Mutants, and then you've got this doctor who's like in charge, and that's it. You literally don't have any other characters. And I liked that isolation. I thought that that worked well. Again, like, the movie isn't great, but it isn't bad. I think it's solid. I think that it works in just being a fun, entertaining, solid time. Like, it doesn't do anything that's going to reinvent the wheel, but I like that it was doing something that was different in its own franchise. I thought that that was entertaining. Like I said, the movie has a lot of issues with like editing, with the movie feeling like it's kind of like random scene after random scene. But I was intrigued enough. I was entertained enough. And the CGI isn't good. The CGI is pretty crazy at the end of the movie. The first 2 acts are pretty nonchalant, like same kind of story, and then the third act really does become a superhero movie. But it works fine. But the CG's pretty crazy. It's not that good. It's definitely one of the weakest CGs like in the new X-Men movies. Like, you could tell like it was a lower budget. But again, I like when they experiment like that. I like whenever they make a movie that's a lower budget in a franchise. 10 Cloverfield Lane is a perfect example of that. I love that movie. It's my favorite Cloverfield movie out of the 3, and it's a isolation movie where it's 3 characters, and that's it. And I thought that this movie is definitely not as good as that, but it's solid enough, and the idea of that is there. The intrigue is partially there, and there's things that are partially good about it. But like I said, it's a solid, fun time, but it's not anything that's going to wow you. But like I said, I like having it different in a franchise. It's a different type of movie that we've seen besides the other X-Men movies. A different location, different ideas, and I like that. And overall, it was a fun time, and I enjoyed it. It's definitely not that bad of a movie, in my opinion. I thought it was fun. So that is my review on the New Mutants. Tell me down below what you guys think of the New Mutants, and I also wanted to say too, I don't have the introduction in this video because I I edit on Premiere, and I thought that those music bits were like free, like that you wouldn't get copyrighted for, and I did. So that's why I don't have the intro in this video, but I'm kind of just gonna get a lot of videos out anyways, so because I've got a lot of reviews I want to do in so little time. I don't ever have enough time to make all these reviews, but this one, like I said, that's why I don't have the intro, and I'm not gonna after this because of that. I might find a new song that's not copyright. I'll try to, but as of now, I'm not. I haven't found anything. So, anyways, I'm rambling on. That's my review. And again, tell me down below what you think of the movie, and thank you guys for watching.